Buy now, wait till 2024, keep renting, live in a van down by the river, don't buy. What should you do? Specifically, what should you do in the new construction space here in Dallas-Fort Worth? Well, I want to talk about it. I want to give you some data points. I want to give you a little bit of opinion on my side. I want to show you what's happening and help you make an informed decision on whether right now, end of 2023, is the right time to buy, or if the better opportunity is coming in 2024. Here we go. So you're going to see it all over the place. People, lenders, realtors, everybody's going to be talking about, like, is now the right time to buy? Should I wait till 2024? Should I have bought in 2020? Keyword, yeah, you should have, but you didn't. So we're talking about it now. It's okay. So specifically, I want to talk about it from the perspective of new construction in DFW. At the time of this video, this is like end of September, first of October, depending on when you're seeing this. And let's talk from the new construction perspective here in DFW. If we haven't met before, my name is Zach. I sell real estate here in DFW. Specifically, I love to sell new construction and help people, build brand new homes and buy brand new homes. So if I can help you do that, I'm gonna put my contact information right down here at the bottom of the video. Reach out, would love to help answer any questions you have and get you into that new home so you could spend potentially the holidays in your brand new home. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people look at the end of the year and they're like, oh, it's a bad time to buy. And like people say that every year, right? Because it's like, well, you get back into school and then it's like, it's finally not 100 degrees outside, and then football season starts, and then Halloween's here, and then it's like, well, Halloween's here and we blink, and then it's Thanksgiving, and then people start decorating way too early for Christmas and start playing Christmas music, which, by the way, side note, Christmas music should not exist until after Thanksgiving. My wife and I, we argue about that all the time. She would start playing Christmas music like today. I say it's like the Friday after Thanksgiving till the day after Christmas. That's where it lives. But anyway, people start doing that. Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, work holidays, Ice-Mageddon, and then it's like you blink and you're like, oh my gosh, it's 2024. And where did the time go and what do we do? And a lot of people say, oh, maybe we should wait. Maybe it's just not the right time. Maybe we shouldn't do that. I would say I think we should take the opposite approach of what most people say, specifically in the new construction space. So here's why I think that. Number one, builders are in the building game to make money. Shocked. I know. They're trying to create profits. That's what happens when we live in a capitalistic society, right? It's crazy. They're trying to make money. Most of them have, not all of them, but most of them have stockholders or shareholders or business partners or whatever. And like any business, they want to close out the year on a strong push. From the end of 23 to the start of 24, right? Which means the more homes that they can sell, the better that their outlook is going into the next year. So what that means is twofold. You'll kind of see, this is a weird way to say this, but you'll kind of see builders in particularly manipulating the market a little bit. And here's what I mean by that. On the one hand, if they have homes that are like on the cusp of like, hey, we could close this in January, February, a lot of times you're going to see them do everything they can to pull that back and get them in on the end of the calendar year. On the other side, if they have homes that are like, we could get there, but we don't have a buyer, you're going to see those get pushed to the back of the line. Hey, you know what? That's a 2024 problem. We don't have to worry about that problem today. We're going to worry about a 2023 problem. Here's an example. So last year, 2022, had a builder that a buddy of mine worked with them, and he's like, hey, we're going crazy in December. I was like, well, how crazy? He's like, we're trying to close 22 of our 30 available homes. I was like, holy cow. I was like, what does that mean? He goes, that means all of our vacation just got canceled. I have to do everything I can to get my trades in. We're slashing our prices. We're doing crazy incentives. We're doing what we can to get as many of these homes sold as possible, right? And they did it. Like 20 homes in December. It was nuts. And they did that so that they could, look really good, finish out the year strong, and make a strong push coming into this year. I think a lot of builders going into the fourth quarter are going to do the same thing. They want to continue to push sales. They want to continue to move product. They want to continue to get people into homes for a lot of the same reasons why you're looking at it like, oh, should we wait? Builders are looking at that, and they're looking at that data and saying, oh, are people going to start waiting? What are we going to do? What's going to happen? And so it's like, let's get it while the getting is good, and go after it and make as much money and, get as many people in homes as possible, right? And so when we understand that, and we understand, supply and demand, and we still have a national shortage of homes. We also still have a shortage here in the DFW marketplace of homes. Like, homes are still moving relatively quicker than builders can produce them. Like, it is still going to be a good time to continue to look to buy, right? That means there are going to be good deals to be had going into the end of the year. Now, here's my caveat to that. I think the better deals are on inventory homes. So if you're looking at a home and you start talking to the builder and they start giving you 2024 numbers, and they're like, hey, this one might close, February, March, April, May. Don't get me wrong. I already have people writing contracts for 2024. We already have clients looking at build jobs for 2024, and they're getting great deals. However, the best deals are on those ones that can close quickly. Why? Because they know what the interest rate's going to be. With somewhat certainty within the next 30, 60, 90 days, it's pretty relative to predict what that interest rate's going to be, what the supply cost is going to be on that home because it's already been bought, like what their profit margin needs to be. So they know, hey, here's what we need to give in closing costs to make this make sense so that this deal doesn't bust. Those long-term deals, those ones that are going to push past 23 into 24, they're still getting good deals, but the builder is not as concerned about those as they are the ones in 23. And so in a weird roundabout way, they're kind of manipulating the market a little bit. It's like, oh yeah, we have all these homes that we could close, but for some of them, it's like, hey, let's go ahead and push and punt to the next year. Hey, let's hold these back. I know some builders right now, and was having a conversation the other day with a sales rep. They're like saying, hey, we're actually limiting our sales through the end of the year. I was like, excuse me, what? He goes, yeah, we're kind of pulling back because we have done enough. We're like reshifting our focus into 2024. So we're going to even be more limiting on what we're going to sell. Interesting. So I think you have both sides of that playing out in front of all of us. The other thing I think that you have to consider is we are coming into an election year. And now this is not a political thing whatsoever. This is just a observation. I think we always have a little bit of volatility in the market every election cycle. I believe we will have even more volatility in the market with this election cycle. I also believe that I don't know how they will do it, and I am not a economics professor or do not claim to be. I also believe that the parties in power will not be able to stay in power with inflation and interest rates where they currently are. There is going to have to be a shift in order for them to run sustainably for re-election. I could be wrong. That is my educated opinion. So with that being said, if they're going to lower the rate, think about the competition that's going to cause, right? So let's just say market rate for today is starting in a 7. And I don't know how many buyers that eliminates out of the market, but it eliminates a lot of buyers. When those rates start to fall back down and pricing on homes levels out a little bit, what you're adding is you're adding competition back into the market, which means it's going to be more difficult to continue to buy homes. Also, as we come out of the winter and into the first of the year, you naturally come into heavier buying seasons. You think about people with kids and they're like, oh, we're coming up on the end of the school year. I want to be in a new school district by the time school starts. So school starts in August. You're like, August, that's so far away. We start stepping it back. And it's like, okay, well, we want to be in by May so we can take summer vacations, or we want to be in, all of those things. So you add more competition, lower the interest rate, probably flatline on prices, and you get to a competition point. So would you rather be in that space competing with those people, or would you rather have less competition and know how to get the best deals now? Is what you have to decide, right? Because here's the other thing that's true. Right now, I have 7 different emails today from builders doing various buying incentives in DFW. Let's see, this first one is permanent 5.99 buy down plus closing costs. Okay. $15,000 to close on anything by the end of the year. Okay. 3% of purchase price and $30,000 in price reductions in some communities. Here's what I think. The moment that there is more competition and builders recognize there's more competition, we also have a shortage of homes, they're not going to have to incentivize buyers like what they are now. Sure, are they going to give you a little bit? Yeah, 5, 10, maybe 599 buy downs, $15,000. Those are going to go out the window. So you're going to be competing. You're going to have less availability, and you're going to have less incentive to make something happen that you want to make happen. All that to be said, waiting might not be the best option. Now, flip side of that, if you are in a situation where you're like, hey, our lease is not up until, we're leasing and we want to be first-time home buyers and our lease isn't up until 2024, then yeah, it probably makes sense to wait. Actually, and truthfully, it probably makes sense to get on contract for something that will close about the time your lease is done. That's the real truth of the matter. Maybe you're changing careers. That's probably when it makes sense to wait, right? Maybe we're working through having kids, or whatever it is. Like, you've got to decide for yourself, what are the immediate goals? Where do we want to get to? What do we want to accomplish? Maybe you're looking at your house and you're like, hey, we refinanced in 2020 and we've got a 3.9% rate. And it's like, well, what should we do? Well, you probably shouldn't sell it. You should probably look at making it a rental property and figure out how to pull your equity out to buy a down payment to build another property. That's probably what you should do. So those are the things that kind of at play that makes sense. Now, what I want to show you is some data points, because my job as a realtor is not to, force you one way or the other. Buy, sell, don't buy, don't sell. My job is to give you information. My job is to provide data so that you can make the best decision possible for you, your family, your circumstances, and what you want to do in your situation. So let's take a look at the data. Okay, so what I have here is we're looking at data trends from the MLS on new construction homes in 4 major counties here in DFW. So we've got Rockwall County, Collin County, Hunt County, and Dallas County. And actually, I think I'm going to replace Hunt County. Let's replace this one with Tarrant County. Okay. Also, this is showing only new construction homes. So the caveat to this that I also have to give you is they're missing data points. There are new construction sales that happen that aren't reflected in the MLS, whether they're homes that were built from the ground up or just some builders don't put information in the MLS. So there's missing data. So there's a skew of what we're missing, but this still gives us a relatively good idea of what's gone on in this space and what we can see the trends that are happening in new construction homes. Okay, so let's start with sale price, right? So this is new construction sale prices, June 2023, so back in the summer, $539 in Rockwall. This is average sales price. Average sales price, Rockwall $539, Collin County $574, Tarrant County $438, and Dallas County $687. You're like, Dallas County, why is that so high? Because you have to understand a lot of the new construction in Dallas County itself is actually Dallas proper, and it's smaller builders that are doing higher end homes. So that's why you see that one number skew a little bit. So there's July, and then here we are in August. We don't have September yet, but we are, we'll get there soon. So you're seeing these numbers. They've kind of, for the most part. So if we, Dallas is kind of this outlier with some of the new construction things, because again, there's a lot of higher end homes in downtown Dallas area in those neighborhoods that are single one-offs that are not big production type builds. So if you look at the other ones, we're 438, 574, 539, and trending down a little bit, but also kind of trending back up. I think we're going to stay online with this for Q4 and see. I think that's kind of the trend we're on, is we're seeing these prices dip a little bit, but truthfully, we're seeing more in terms of closing costs added versus more so price reductions happening over the long term. Is closing costs are being taken into account, and they're getting hidden in transactions that we can't really track that because of how it gets reported, but they're there. I think here is a interesting data point to track. So this is a percentage of original list price. So again, we're focusing specifically on new construction. So the data gets skewed a little bit based on when those get listed and how the pricing goes out. But this is what they're getting in terms of, percentage comparative against the original list price. So we're looking at, 97, 98%, 98, 97, 95% of original list price is kind of where we're seeing those hit. Price per square foot wise, we are tracking in that, between 185 to 205 potentially a square foot. The Collin County one is interesting to me because you can kind of come back way at the start of the year, and this is September a year ago. So 225 It was the height of the market, $225 a square foot in Collin County. We've seen that, take a significant dive and then kind of level back off here. And I think that's where we're going to continue to stay. If we look at months supply, so this is if everything on the market sold, like how long would it take us to get rid of all of that? So this is kind of an interesting one to take a look at as well. So July, 3.4, 2.7, 3.2. August, we're all in that kind of 3 range. Dallas is the outlier here with the 5. So we're still seeing that move on trend. Closed sales. So this is month over month. How many of these homes are closing? We're seeing it kind of stay on the same trend, moving back up. Again, I think we're going to see this and continue to up as we get toward the end of the year. So it'll be fun to track that and see how much more this grows as we get toward the end of the year. Last piece on the stats, and then we'll go look at actually a few houses and a few things that builders have going. This is homes currently listed for sale. So Rockwall County, 216, Collin County, 960. So you've got to think Collin County, massive piece over the north. So there is a ton of growth happening up there. Same thing in Tarrant County and how much land that area covers. Tons and tons of growth. Those are the places that I would tell you, hey, let's look at that outer rim. Like if you think about the circle of DFW, those outer rim spaces are the places that I would say, let's look. Those are the best deals that are growing in areas quickly that you're probably going to do really well on. Going north, we all know that going north has gotten expensive really, really quick, but there's still opportunities there to get in and allow your home to appreciate in value as it goes. If I pull actually houses listed, again, we're looking, you can kind of see the breakdown of where those fall. I'm not going to click you through all of those. I'm just telling you there is good opportunities here now on homes that would close before the end of the year. Let's take a look at a couple different builders' websites just out of curiosity. So if we go to Highland, we're looking at homes. This is under 3. So under 3 months, we're at 84 homes that could close. If you wanted something now, we've got 35. Anything under 6 months, we're at 190. And again, you're kind of seeing them advertise Save Now Big with 15K. They're also one of the builders that are potentially offering a interest rate lock, depending on the neighborhood, the community, 5% rate. So we've got, 84 there, like anything 84 within 3 months, kind of a good spread there. Perry, another favorite builder of mine, we've got 126 that are listed in either move-in ready now or move-in in the next 6 months. So 126, and they're going to keep adding to that. Meritage is showing 418 across 30 different communities. So we've got everything from the mid 3s up to the 6s, 7s, 8s, depending on where you want it. Sales event, this is their Save Timber. Obviously, you're seeing this video after September. It's a different savings thing, but they are doing something to get you into these homes. And then lastly, the one we'll take a look at is Trophy. Again, homes starting, 314, 499 in Allen, Princeton, 369, 379. November. There are options out there if you want to make it happen. I don't know what 2024 is going to hold. I don't. Nobody does. I don't know what's going to happen in terms of interest rate. I don't know what's going to happen in terms of inflation. I just know if you are on the cusp and you're like, I'm not sure which direction I should go. Should I look at waiting? Should we renew our lease? My challenge to you is let's have a conversation. Let's just lay it out and just see, hey, if we can make something happen, what does this look like for us? Hey, if we've got a baby on the way, we need to upgrade and we need more space. Let's have a conversation. I'm happy to sit down with you. We'll sit down over Zoom and we'll just, we'll hash it out, right? And we'll see what makes sense. Because there are deals to be had. And again, I'm looking at the Trophy one now. It says flexible savings receive up to $25,000 and use it your way. Guys, $25,000 is closing cost and it's an interest rate buy down. And that's saving you hundreds every month. And it gets you into a place where you are starting to build equity. Equity grows, year over year as a whole, but it always usually grows at a faster rate in new construction spaces than it does in resale spaces because of the appreciation, because of the development that's happening around you. I would say, if it were me, I would not wait till 2024. Even if I wasn't going to close on that house until 2024. Even if we were going to say, hey, we're going to close in the spring and we want to build, I would try and get myself under contract now on something and then figure out everything else I need to do to get into that space. Even more so, if I could and it made sense, I would try and close something before the end of 2023, take as much advantage as possible of these incentives that the builders are offering. I'm here to help. I'm here to answer questions. I'm here to try and make that happen for you. I will put the contact information right there at the bottom of the video. Reach out, call me, text me. New construction, again, is my bread and butter. It's what I love to do. So I'm happy to have a conversation with you. If you have questions, you can leave them down in the comments. If you're not sure what to do next, there's a link in the description of this video to start browsing homes. You can take a look, see what's out there, see what's coming. Find that home and let's start a conversation. If you want to go ahead and book time in my calendar, you can do that as well. Here to answer any questions. Thank you for hanging out. I will see you in my next video. If you found value at all in this video, like goes a long way. If you want to continue to learn about new construction here in DFW, subscribe to the channel. We have content coming out every single week to help you grow and find your next home. We will see you in our next video. Bye for now.